The rain outside made everything seem quieter than usual. It was a sleepy Wednesday afternoon at Grilly's, a roadside diner in a quiet Tennessee town. It's the kind of place where the booths squeaked, the ketchup bottles were always sticky, and the coffee never ran out, just got darker with time. Behind the counter, Ray, a 25-year-old waitress with a no-nonsense ponytail and tired eyes, refilled salt shakers with one hand and checked her tips with the other. She had been on her feet since 6 a.m., pouring coffee for truckers and slicing lemon wedges for iced tea. Life was simple, but not easy. She didn't complain, not since her mom died. Not since the landlord raised the rent. Not since she gave up on dreams that didn't pay the bills, but something felt off today. Maybe it was the way the wind kept rattling the windows, or the old jukebox refusing to work. Or maybe it was that sound, that faint sound. Like crying. Ray froze. It wasn't coming from the tables or the kitchen. It was coming from the back. She walked slowly toward the restroom, her sneakers squeaking on the checkered linoleum floor. At first she thought maybe someone was sick, drunk maybe. It wouldn't be the first time. She knocked gently on the door. "Hello? Everything okay in there?" Silence. Then a choked, whisper-soft voice. "Please, don't tell him I'm here." Ray's heart skipped. She opened the restroom door carefully. 3 stalls, 2 wide open. The third dash locked. She bent down to look underneath. Tiny sneakers. A girl curled up on the toilet seat. Her voice shook. "My name's Ray. I work here. Are you hurt?" The girl's voice quivered. "My name's Mila. He followed me here. Said if I scream again, he'll break my fingers." Ray's breath caught. This wasn't a prank. This wasn't drama. This was real. "Who followed you?" "My dad," Mila whispered. "But he's not really my dad." A cold chill ran up Ray's spine. She stepped back, instincts firing. She needed to protect this girl, now, before she could plan her next move. The front door of the diner slammed open with a bang that made every customer turn their head. A tall, broad man stood there, soaked in rain, eyes sharp and furious. Thick neck, heavy boots, clenched fists. Ray peeked around the hallway corner and instantly recognized him. That was the man Mila was hiding from. He scanned the room like a predator. "Little girl, 9 years old, brown hair, you seen her?" Barked at the hostess, who stammered and shook her head. Ray took a breath. She could hear her pulse in her ears. She walked forward slowly. "I think I saw a girl go out with a woman a few minutes ago." Ray lied smoothly. "Maybe they were headed to the gas station." The man squinted at her. He didn't trust her. She didn't care. "Mind if I check the restroom?" he asked. Ray's body blocked the hallway. "I just cleaned it. Pretty sure it's empty." "Go ahead." He pushed past her roughly. Her fingers trembled. She followed him in, praying Mila hadn't made a sound. He checked the stalls. Ray flushed one of the toilets herself, making it seem occupied, then opened it with a shrug. "See?" she said, feigning boredom. "I told ya, no one's in here." He muttered something under his breath and stomped back out of the diner. Ray waited a few beats before locking the restroom door behind her. She turned to the last stall and gently tapped. "It's okay now," she whispered. "He's gone." The door creaked open. Mila stood there, tiny, shivering, eyes red, cheeks blotchy. Her arms were covered in bruises and her lower lip was split. Ray dropped to her knees and opened her arms. Mila fell into them without hesitation. Later that evening, Ray wrapped Mila in a dry hoodie and brought her to a rusty old trailer on the edge of town. It wasn't much, just one bedroom, flickering lights, and a space heater that whined louder than it worked. But it was warm. Safe. She made pancakes for dinner, Mila's favorite. It turned out, and let her pet her orange cat Biscuit, who instantly curled up in Mila's lap like he knew. Ray didn't ask too many questions. Just listened. Mila said her dad took her from a playground weeks ago. Said her real mom disappeared after they moved to Georgia. Said the man had different names in every town. Said she never got to go to school. "He made me call him Daddy," she said quietly, but I knew he wasn't. Ray fought the urge to cry. She couldn't keep Mila, that much she knew, but she could make sure the girl never ended up with that monster again. So she made an anonymous call to Child Protective Services, said she found a scared girl hiding behind a gas station, said she needed someone kind to come, no cops, no sirens. They came quietly. They took Mila, and Ray stood at the doorway as the car pulled away, trying not to break, trying not to feel like she'd just given away someone who belonged with her. That night, Ray lay awake, staring at the ceiling, listening to the rain tap on her trailer roof. She told herself it was over, that Mila was safe, that she'd done the right thing, but deep down, she knew something wasn't right. Not just with that man, but with the way Mila flinched whenever headlights passed by, with the way she never used her last name, with the way she said he's not the only one. Ray didn't know it yet, but Mila's rescue was just the beginning. And 3 days later, when a black SUV pulled up to the diner and 2 federal agents stepped out, Ray's world would change forever. It was early morning, just past 8. The diner was still closed. A thin layer of fog curled over the parking lot outside Ray's trailer. Her coffee sat untouched on the chipped counter. She hadn't slept well, not since Mila had left. Her mind kept circling back to that girl's haunted eyes. Ray was wiping down the sink when it happened. Knock, 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 not timid, not friendly, authoritative. She froze. 3 slow steps to the front door. Through the peephole, she saw them too. Tall men in black suits, black ties, earpieces, badges clipped to their belts. Her stomach dropped. She opened the door slowly, every nerve in her body tense. "Miss Ray Miller?" the taller one asked, sharp jaw, cold blue eyes. "Yeah." "Agent Knox, this is Agent Ray. We're with the FBI. We need to speak to you." "May we come in?" "FBI?" Ray's heart raced. "Sure, I guess." They stepped in like shadows, scanning the small space. Ray motioned toward the kitchen table. They didn't sit. Agent Knox opened a thin black folder. Inside a photograph, it was Mila. Ray blinked hard. "Is she okay?" "That's what we're here to talk about," Knox said. Ray added, "We believe the man you encountered at the diner last week is connected to a multi-state child trafficking operation." The room shifted under Ray's feet. She pulled out a chair, slowly lowered herself into it. "Wait, what?" "The man who came looking for her, he said he was her father." Knox shook his head. "His name is Luther Cade. No biological relation. He's not listed as a guardian. In fact, he doesn't exist on paper at all. Fake IDs? No digital footprint." Ray pulled out another image. A grainy security cam shot Luther dragging a child into a van. Mila is one of 6 girls reported missing over the last 9 months, all between the ages of 8 and 11. All last seen near rest stops, schools, or playgrounds. Ray's blood ran cold. She looked away, jaw tight. "Is Mila safe now?" She whispered. Knox nodded. "She's under federal protection. But we think Luther may have been tracking her longer than we thought, possibly even grooming her." Ray felt sick. "And the other girls?" she asked. Ray's silence answered the question. Ray covered her mouth. "Oh my God," Knox continued. "You disrupted a very well-hidden operation. You did something incredibly brave. And why does it feel like a bad thing?" Ray said, voice cracking. Ray pulled a phone from his pocket and showed her a photo. It was Ray, serving pancakes, taken inside the diner. Yesterday, her hands went cold. "Where did you get that?" "We didn't," Knox replied grimly. "It was sent to your personal number this morning, from an untraceable source." Ray's voice shook. "What did it say?" "One word," Knox said. "Mistake." That single word hit harder than a scream. Knox looked at her squarely. "We believe Luther may be watching you. Or someone from his circle is. You're not safe here," Ray added. "We need to move you immediately." Within the hour, Ray was in the back of a black government SUV, her belongings hastily stuffed into one duffel bag. She didn't even get to say goodbye to Biscuit, her cat. Neighbor agreed to watch him for a few days. A few days felt like a lifetime. They took her to a secure motel out of town, room 207, curtains always closed. Armed agents and unmarked cars outside. Ray couldn't sleep. could barely eat, but she kept asking about Mila. Does she know I'm okay? Is she eating? Ray assured her Mila was asking about her too. She calls you the pancake lady, said, trying to smile. Ray let out a soft laugh through her exhaustion. Tell her I'm okay. 3 days passed, and then came the second knock. This time, it was Knox alone. His face was tighter, more serious. We found something, he said. Stepping inside, he laid down a series of grainy surveillance images, license plates, highway toll captures, blurry shots from gas stations. Luther. Driving north, chasing something or someone. He's not backing off, Knox said. And we believe he's circling back into the area. Ray's lips parted. He's looking for Mila. No, Knox said. He's looking for you. Ray stared at him. For me. You embarrassed him. You intervened. You broke the link in his operation. You think he's trying to tie up loose ends? Ray's breath caught in her throat. Her body tensed. Knox paused. We have a plan. Risky, but it might be our only shot. He unfolded it carefully. We want to use you in a sting. Ray's eyes widened. Absolutely not. You won't be alone. You'll be protected. Wired. Watched. She looked away. Please understand, Knox said. If we don't catch him now, more girls will go missing. He won't stop. Ray stood by the window, staring through the cracks in the curtain. The motel parking lot glowed in the orange light of a flickering street lamp. Her reflection looked tired, weathered, changed. She thought about Mila, the way she held Biscuit, the way she whispered, I knew he wasn't my dad. Ray turned to Knox, her voice firm. I'll do it. Knox blinked. You sure? She nodded. But if I'm doing this, I need one thing. What? When this is over, and he's behind bars, want to see Mila. The morning of the sting operation arrived quiet and gray. The kind of sky that couldn't decide whether it wanted to rain or clear. Inside Grilly's, the diner looked just like it always had: vinyl booths, laminated menus, salt shakers with sugar packets stuck to their sides. But today it wasn't. Just a diner, it was a trap. And Ray was the bait. She sat at her usual table in the corner, notepad in hand, pretending to jot down breakfast orders. Her hands looked steady. They weren't. Her palms were slick with sweat. Beneath her red waitress uniform, a tiny mic was taped to her collarbone, hidden beneath her apron strap. Agent Knox's voice buzzed in her ear. You're doing good, Ray. He's en route. 8 to 4 minutes. Stay seated. Itch swallowed hard. Outside, unmarked black vans idled near the gas station. Inside the diner, 2 customers were actually FBI, one pretending to sip coffee, the other reading the newspaper upside down. Ray knew where every camera was, every wired surface. But nothing felt real. The fear. That was real. And the memory of Mila's voice whispering in the restroom stall. He said he'd break my fingers. That kept Ray from running. She stared. At the swinging front door, waiting for the monster to walk through it. At 8:37 a.m., he'd hit Luther Cade. Same towering frame, same ice-cold eyes. A new flannel shirt and baseball cap, pulled low. Bet Ray would have known him anywhere. He walked, and like he owned the place. Like he wasn't being hunted by the FBI. Like he hadn't spent the past few weeks stalking the woman who took Mila from him. He slid into the booth across from Ray without saying a word. Her throat tightened. Didn't expect to see you again, she said, trying to sound casual. He smiled a tight, dangerous smirk. Didn't expect to be betrayed. We're listening. Ray Knox whispered in her earpiece. I didn't betray anyone, she replied. I protected a kid. Oh, you took something from me, he said coldly. Ray blinked. She's not a thing. She's a child. Luther leaned forward. You don't know what you've gotten yourself into. Keep him talking. You're right, Ray said, voice steady. I didn't know. I didn't know who you were. But I do now. His hand twitched near his jacket. Ray's heart slammed against her ribs. If he reaches, we move. She had to distract him. You've done this before, haven't you? She asked, eyes locked on his. Mila wasn't the first. Luther said nothing. Where are the others? Still nothing? Did they cry? Ray asked. Did they beg you to stop? Luther's jaw twitched. Did they scream when you put them? In that van? Suddenly he lunged forward. Ray flinched, but before he could reach her, the diner doors burst open. FBI. Hands where we can see them. 3 agents charged in, weapons raised. Booths tipped. Plates shattered. Customers screamed and dove for cover. Luther tried to run, but the 2 customers tackled him first. He went down hard, face first into a table, arms twisted behind his back. You're under arrest for kidnapping, trafficking, obstruction. An attempted assault, Agent Ray barked as he cuffed him. Luther spat blood. You think this ends with me? Ray stood, heart hammering. It does, she said. And for the first time in a long while, she believed it. 2 weeks later, Ray stood outside a quiet suburban house with a paper bag in her hand. The sun was bright. The air smelled like blooming. Magnolias. The door opened. Mila stood there, holding a stuffed elephant. She was smiling. Hi, she said shyly. Ray crouched down. Hey, Peanut. Mila ran into her arms. Ray held her close, tears prickling behind her eyes. Inside, Mila's foster mom watched warmly from the doorway. I brought you something, Ray said, holding up the bag. Mila opened it and gasped. Pancakes, warm, wrapped in foil, with tiny syrup cups and a sticky note that said, The best ones are made with love. He remembered, Mila said, giggling. Ray smiled, always. Back at Grilly's, things were almost back to normal. Almost customers still whispered when she walked by. Some called her the hero waitress. A few left bigger tips. But Ray didn't care about the attention. She kept wiping counters, refilling coffee, smiling at tired truckers, because for the first time in her life, she felt like she mattered. She hadn't just saved Mila. She'd saved herself, and somewhere out there, 6 families were getting closure because of her. As the sun dipped low and the neon open sign flickered on, Ray tied her apron tighter and glanced at the booth by the window, the same one where Luther once sat. Now, it was just a booth. Nothing more, but the girl who used to cry in the bathroom was safe, and the woman who once thought she was just a waitress, she had become so much more.